Well, welcome to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. I've got a strategy that Ryan sent me over. He just wanted me to run out the 24 plus 8 strategy, but we're going to run this one out with a twist. Check it out. So we're going to buy in for $500. Remember, cash on the table, your CPass card, and they scan it, give it back to you. That's how you get your points on the cruise. All right, so $500 for the dealer. And we're going to be playing this strategy with $5 chips. The red chips are $5 a piece. The average for this strategy is $160, but I'm going to bump it up to $180 after our first win. So that's where the twist comes into play. All right, so for the setup with this strategy, we've got to establish a number in a particular dozen, and then that's going to determine where we place our bets. So we're going to bet the full dozen on 2 dozens, and then we're only going to bet 8 numbers. That's where the 24 plus 8 comes into play. All right, so we hit 17. So now we're going to put $60 on the 3rd dozen down here. So there's 60. We're going to put $60 on the 1st dozen. And then we're going to bet 8 numbers in the middle dozen. Now, anywhere it lands at this point, other than the bust numbers, we're going to win $20 profit. Okay? And then we're going to do something with it. I'm going to press that $20 up and go ahead and get us to earning a little bit more money with it if we can get it to happen, okay? All right, so we land on 2. All right, so we lost this. It comes down here. I'm going to rake it the first couple times here just so everybody sees. Make sure we're all on board here with the payout. All right, so there's the win right there. So now we're going to go $60 here. $60 in the 2nd dozen, and we're going to go 8 numbers. All right, there's 8 numbers, so that's going to give us a $20 profit right there. We're going to go ahead and press these up, $10 each. So now we're at 70 and 70, and that should have increased our average up to $180 at this point. But now what's going to happen if we land on any of these numbers here, it's a push. If it lands on either of these dozens, that's a $30 profit. All right, so 31. So let's just go ahead and rake it and pay it out. Show everybody that it is a $30 profit. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and reduce these back down. So we took the $10 off of each of those. We're going to take this stack here. All right, so we're going to go $60 again, $60 here. And then we're going to take and bet 8 numbers again in that 3rd dozen there. And then over that one cycle, that's a $50 profit that we're going to bring back to our rack here. Okay, 16. That should be a $20 profit right there. And we're going to shift. So now we're going to go 60 on the 1st, 60 on the 3rd. And let's bet 8 numbers here in that middle dozen. So there's our $20 profit. Let's press these, $10 each now. Okay, there's 11. All right, so we know that's going to be a $30 profit. So there's that $30 profit right there. We're going to go ahead and take these 10 and 10 off of that. So that should be $50 right there. Bring it back to our rack. Now, we're going to shift everything again. Now we're reset back 60 and 60. and 8 numbers in that first dozen. Okay, so there's 15. That should be a $20 profit again. All right, so there's that $20 profit. All right, so we're going to go 60 on the first dozen, 60 on the third dozen. And 8 numbers. There we go. There's our 20. All right, there we go. We're going to press those up, those 2 dozens. All right, we'll land on 7. That should be a $30 profit. And we're going to reduce them back down. 60 and 60. There we go. So there's that $50. Bring that on back to our rack. Now we're back down to base. Okay, so there's our first loss. So we lost that 1660. And then there's 8 numbers there we lost on. So even with that one loss, we are actually only $10 shy from being even. So that cycling through to get that win, press it up, you only have to do that 3 times and you pretty much have your initial bet recovered. All right, so let's see. We've gone 7 spins with it. Let's go a couple spins with it. Go ahead and get a little more out of it. We're going to reestablish another number. Being it hit on that 0, we're going to count the spin because they'd count the spin on a real table. Oh, 0 again. It's a good thing we didn't put our money out there, because that would have gotten us 2 times in a row. Okay, so we're on 27. All right, we're back to our initial bet. So 60 and 60. And then let's see, let's get 8 numbers here. Okay, there's 8 numbers there. All right, 14. That should be a $20 profit there. All right, so we're going to go 60 and 60. There's that $20 profit. Let's press those dozens up again. Okay, 32. And that should be a $30 profit right there. Okay. All right, so we've gone 11 spins with it. Let's bring it all back in. Let's count it up, see what we finished with here. All right, so there's the 24 plus 8 with a twist that Ryan sent over to me. He sent it over just wanting me to run the normal 24 plus 8 just to kind of see how it does and give it a rating and stuff like that. But I'm like, hey, let's give it a twist a little bit. Let's use that money that we profit and just press it up. Let's just see what happens with it. Okay, but as you can see, it worked out pretty good. We bought in for $500. We're walking away up $40. So it's not a huge profit, but it is a little bit of profit. And we win 11 spins with it. Okay, our average starts at $160, goes up to $180. So in the course of 10 spins, give or take, I would suspect you probably should earn anywhere between 150 to 175 points over those 10 spins. It's a pretty high average over that short session. So it's able to survive, that many spins anyway. But if we'd have had it all out there when we hit those 2 zeros in a row, we would be down another, $160, give or take. I would have probably had to go out to 20 spins with it to try to recover that second loss. But then we'd be chasing just a little bit. I would play this as just a flat bet strategy. I wouldn't press a lot to double up or anything like that. It kind of recovers fairly well if you cycle through like I showed you. It helps to recover in 3 wins instead of taking, if you had $20, it would take 8 wins to recover that. So just kind of think about it that way. Yes, you have to have 6 wins in order to make it happen. It's not a huge difference. It is a couple of wins, less to do it in that way. But you are bringing something back to your rack every single time, or every other spin, give or take. Okay, so there it is. That's that 24 plus 8 with a twist. All right, as far as ratings go for this strategy, comp value for this strategy, I feel it's really good. It's got a lot of coverage with 8 numbers. You have 4 numbers exposed there, 2 numbers there, so you got 6 numbers exposed in the entire strategy. You're not keeping them stagnant. That's one thing we run into with some of our strategies that we're playing, is we keep the same numbers stagnant the entire time, which they're going to cycle around ever so often anyway. So at least moving them around a little bit, maybe you won't get caught, but you might. Okay, but you could tell those zeros and double zeros for this one is going to hurt you. Down here where you're leaving some exposure, those numbers are there. I mean, it's going to hit those numbers. So, but maybe you can move it around enough that maybe it won't be as bad. Won't come around as often. So as far as comp value goes, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 5. This one's got a really good average. You could reduce this down to $2 chips easy enough. So you'd have to have 24 and 24 plus, so that's 48 plus your 8 chips in there. That's 50, I don't know, 50 something. So 60, it's actually 64. All right, so your average wouldn't be that bad. Even just playing with $2 chips. So there's an option for you. So comp value, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5. Profitability for the strategy, I'm not expecting to make a lot of profit with this strategy. You can make some profit if you never hit one of the bad numbers. So it's got an opportunity there. But as far as, playing it, expecting to make a lot of profit off of it, I probably wouldn't play it expecting a lot. But, it's got potential. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. So a 3 for profitability. Now, as far as ease of setup for the strategy, once you set it out once or twice, I think you pretty well got it settled as to where to place your bets. There's 12 chips here, 12 chips here, 8 chips out here on these numbers. And you could run the same dozen the entire time if you wanted to. You could go with the dozen that hasn't hit the longest, so it's completely up to you how to play the strategy. It's got some flexibility, but I wouldn't say, this is exactly the way you should play it, chasing the dozen that hit. I wouldn't say that at all. It's completely up to you, whatever you want to do with it. So ease of setup, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. I like the setup on it. It's pretty easy once you set it out a couple times, and just stick with it. Moving it around is the only thing that keeps it from being a 5 for me. If you set it up on the first dozen or second, middle, or third, it's completely up to you. But it could be a 5 if you wanted to just kind of stay with it. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. So there you have it. That's the 24 plus 8 that Ryan sent over to me, that we gave it a little bit of a twist just to see if we could do something a little extra with it. So if you don't mind, hit that like button for me. And if you're not subscribed to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see y'all. Bye.